In this update I'll be going over what I've done. And the most important thing is the UI for multiple things. First and foremost, you can finally see the armaments. You can switch to them, which is something that was already there, but you can see their form, their damage, their hit, and you can see this tooltip, which will explain each and everything that the armament has. For example, it will explain the form, it will explain what the damage does, it will explain hit, ammo, and the speed, if it's visible or not, and how you aim it. For example, let's change to a different armament, and you can see that in this case it, for example, says locked and the speed is different. Now let's search for an armament that is invisible. Oh. This faction has none, and that's a special thing about the factions. Some factions will have special things about their armaments, and some others will have other things. For example, this blue thing that you can see on the image is defined as charge, and a special type of effect that will trigger once it hits the enemy table. Another thing in UI, now you can see the tooltips in the armament as well, and you finally have the numbers to know where to use them. If I press tab and switch to weapons off, the armament will collapse, you won't be able to see it anymore, and I can move. With this you can see that you have move points and hit points. Let's see, for example, let's say that I launch this armament, and you can see that my hit points have been reduced by the amount that it specifies here. So I had 6, I used this armament, and it's now 4. 6 minus 2 is 4, so it's correct. And if I continue to move, this will continue to go down. This is my HP bar. As I have not been hit, it's still at full. And this is the enemy's HP bar. I can also see his move points, his size, and his armor. He has no hit points at the moment because his turn hasn't started. So it's now his turn. He can see his move. He can see my move points. This is the crocodile, so it's the enemy. And you can see that he has the same hit points. It's still 4 out of 6, and as I move 2 times, it's 2 out of 4. Meanwhile, to see my own hit points, I should be looking at here. This is the name, this is the hit points, and here is hit, and here is move points. So I can move 3 times, and it will go down. You can also see that the armaments are completely different, and will go in depth when the turn starts. So this is the armament that the big one has shot, and now it's my turn. The armaments are completely different, and I bet that in this case I'll be able to find an armament that is invisible. There we go. This armament is invisible or hidden, and the UI explains it. This means that the boxes, the enemy won't be able to see what boxes are getting targeted before he moves. In other words, it's kind of like catching him without information, so it's a very good statistic. Now let's say that I move here and I get hit. You see that the HP goes down. So yeah, I will say that it is a pretty functional UI. It's not particularly pretty, in fact it's kind of ugly, but it is doing its work. I like the tooltip, it really explains most of the things that I need to know. It could be upgraded, but for the moment I will leave it as is. There's also a tooltip to explain the face and the weapons mode. I also reprogrammed most of the code for these things because speeds were just not working. So heavy speed, the thing that you can see here, and reactive speed that is new, it was presenting a lot of problems, a lot of bugs, so I recoded all of that and it's not working perfectly. Yeah, that will be all. The UI is complete. I will say that the game is playable now, although it won't be very fun because, well, none of the graphics are here. The cubes and these blank points or images should be changed, but I don't have any artistic prowess, so it's better to continue without it. And yeah, I will say that the game is playable, but it needs a lot of work to actually be fun. It's still kind of like an alpha, so I'll continue to work on it. That will be all. Have a good day.